Welcome to another episode of 5 Minute Astrology, where I take one question and one core thing to look at in our chart so that you are learning how to read your chart slowly but surely. And today we're carrying on with a bit of a Mercury theme. Recently, we looked at in episode 11, we were looking at how do I think, like, where is my Mercury in my chart and what does that represent? Today, we're thinking about what am I currently thinking about? Like, what's on my mind right now? What am I having to attend to in terms of daily thoughts and daily churn? And so, what we're looking at is finding where transiting Mercury is currently residing in your chart. Now, to do this, you need to know how to find the transits on your birth chart. And if you don't know, I refer you back to episode 9, where I showed you how to bring up the transits in your chart really, really simply using astro.com. What you're going to need for this session is your birth chart and your quick map. You can get the quick map from my school community, or you could find your own list of definitions for each of the signs of the zodiac and also each of the houses of the zodiac. Anyway, let's dive in. So I've got my test chart in front of me. And today I need to look at where the transiting planets are. And the transiting planets sit around the wheel of your birth chart. And you can see there's no transits there. So I went onto astro.com and I clicked the transits button. And now you can see the transits are all popped in. And so the task today is to locate currently where Mercury is. And so I can see that Mercury is currently, looks like he's in the sign of Virgo and also in the 10th house. Now, it's always good to just double check. And so you can see these are all of your birth positions, the natal chart positions, and these are the transits. So you go to Mercury. He's not in Virgo at time of recording. He's actually in the sign of Leo, but you can see it's at 29 degrees 56. That means in 4 minutes of arc time, Mercury is actually going to go into the sign of Virgo. So this is quite interesting, because if you're looking at this right now, the chances are Mercury is going to be in Leo. But maybe if you watch this later, or in a month's time, or maybe in a whole year's time from recording today on the 25th of August, 2026, you might find a whole different position. So the task is, which sign is he in and which house is he in? And you can see the house. I can see that Mercury is just into the 10th house. So now we come to the next part of this experiment. So we're looking at what's grabbing your attention in terms of where Mercury currently is. Now, if you've got the quick map to hand, you'll be able to go down the list until you find the sign that he's in. So right now I've got Leo. So I'm thinking creatively, confidently, and expressively. Well, that's actually really spot on. Now, also, when I think in terms of the houses that Mercury's in, that's showing up in this chart in the 10th house of career, direction, and public life. It might be different for you from your chart's position, but just have a look and then think, okay, well, does that fit? Is that where my current attention is? And if it doesn't fit, what is surprising you about this? Because I think when you're tracking Mercury through your chart, through the signs, it shows how there's a different flavor to your thinking. It's describing a mini epoch of thinking and sort of mental activity. Like you might be super fast in your thinking, or you might be going on a go slow, go deep kind of energy if it's going through the sign of Scorpio, let's say. And similarly, when Mercury is going through your different houses, it's showing you what part of life is being awoken. So for instance, right now, if it's in the 10th, it might be very much about your career. But if Mercury is going through your first house right now, it might be about relaunching yourself, rebranding yourself, tidying yourself up. It might be about fitness and activity. So by looking at where Mercury currently is residing in your chart and where he's moving to, that gives you an idea of where your attention is going to be grabbed. So I hope you found this helpful. As ever, I think it's always a good practice to make some notes, especially if you plan on using this as a daily check-in with your chart to learn about yourself. You might be using a notebook. You might be, if you're like me, typing into a computer. However you're learning things, and if you want to speed up your learning, come into my school community, which is a free community, and do it with us. Tell us where your Mercury is transiting and also what you noticed. And it'll be interesting to see what other people are sharing. That's where the real learning begins. So thanks for joining me today. Hope you found it helpful and hope to see you in another one real soon. Lots of love. Bye for now.